Hello and welcome to this episode of Nerd Bytes. Today we'll be talking about some of the core capabilities of CodeStream. So you'll see that I have my IDE open here. I'm in Visual Studio Code, and in this Nerd Byte I will play the role of the developer. I'm in here, I'm fixing some bugs, I'm writing some code, whatever it may be, but I've come up against something that I might not necessarily be too sure of. Maybe I don't know necessarily that the syntax is correct. It might build perfectly well, but if we go to run it, it might sort of have some problems. And I just want to get some clarification. I want to get some feedback from my team, from people who might be a little bit more senior, who might have a little bit more experience. I just want to get some feedback just to make sure that I'm doing things in the right way. So let's say, for example, in this case, I've made some changes to this block of code. So let's say, for example, that might be, in this case, as a very trivial example, I can add 10 here instead of adding 1. Or I can change some string text in here and I could take out that colon, for example. Now if I save that file, I can come over to CodeStream over on the left-hand side. I'm going to go to feedback requests and I can create a new feedback request. And you see it's already brought in the changed files here, so it knows exactly what I've changed, and it's already included a couple of people who might review this code change. So these are people that CodeStream has detected through the commit history of this code base, since this is tied in to GitHub. So I can say here, can I have feedback? And then in my description, I can add a little bit more detail. And I can ask, is this correct? I can add some more information here. I can just clarify exactly what I'm looking for. Now, if I wanted to, I can add additional reviewers here if I needed to. I'm not going to in this case. And if I wanted to, I could remove some people from the reviewer list here as well. So now we've got everything set up. We've got the request in place. We've got the reviewers selected. And in this case, because my team is collaborating on Slack, I've selected my Slack workspace and the right Slack channel, and I'll submit that feedback request. So now once this goes through, we'll get a Slack message in that Slack channel, and whoever it is that has been selected as the reviewer will get an email as well. So here we can see just a moment ago, we got this notification through on Slack. So can I have feedback? Not sure this is correct. So it's already brought in exactly the right sort of file, exactly sort of what has, or not necessarily what has changed, but how much has changed. So 2 additions, 2 deletions on the shipment.cpp file. If I wanted to, I can view the discussion here. And so I can see the full chain of comments. In this case, there's only 1, but I can say, yes, we'll look shortly. Just so that whoever it is who has requested feedback knows that I'll get to it. And so that reply has been posted. So if I look back in CodeStream here, I can see that comment has come through. Now in this case, it's just me talking to myself, but in a real world scenario, that would be you talking to your team and your team replying back. Now when you come in here and whoever it is that's decided to review this code for you, in this case Dennis here, they can click here, they'll get the diff view, they'll be able to see what the old file was, what the new file is, and this doesn't interact at all with the version of this file that they have running locally on their machine. So you're not interfering with their code base, they're just reviewing what you have changed. So now this has been reviewed, maybe it's been approved, it's a perfectly valid code change. So Dennis can come in here and approve that feedback request. They could also deny it and request extra changes to be made, but in this case, it's been approved. And so let's jump back to X out of here. So that's in the approved state now rather than the open state. That's how we request feedback. That's how you provide feedback after it has been requested. Thanks for watching. Check out the links in the description below and come back for another episode very soon.